This is Priyadharshini, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. Today we are going to look into the topic Mapreduce under HDFS. So we all know Mapreduce. Mapreduce is the main component in the Hadoop ecosystem. So when you take Hadoop environment, you have major two components. One is Mapreduce, the other one is HDFS. So HDFS is used for storing file system and Mapreduce is used for programming. It's used as a programming model. So let's see what is Mapreduce. Let's see how does the Mapreduce works. So Mapreduce, it is a programming model for writing application that can process big data in parallel on multiple nodes. It is mainly a programming model. It provides analytical capabilities for analyzing huge volumes of complex data. It is also a processing technique and a program model for distributed computing based on Java language. The MapReducing algorithm consists of two main important tasks. One is map and the other task is reduce. So what does a map task does? The map task takes a set of data, converts into another set of data where individual elements are broken down into tuples, mainly in the form of key value pairs. The reduce task takes the output from the map as an input, that is the key value pairs, and combines these data tuples, key value pairs, into a smaller set of tuples. So what is the main advantage of using this MapReduce? So the main advantage is it is easy to scale data processing over multiple computing nodes. Under this model, the data processing primitives are called the mappers and the reducers. Map task is done by mappers, reduce task is done by the reducers. So the algorithm. MapReduce program executes in three stages, namely map stage, shuffle stage and reduce stage. So what are all the things done in map stage? The map or mapper's job is to process the input data. Generally, the input data is in the form of file or directory and it is stored in the Hadoop file system HDFS. This input is then passed into the mapper function line by line. The mapper processes the data and creates several chunks of data from the input and then passes it to the reducer stage. In the reduce stage, it is a combination of shuffle stage and the reduce stage. The reducer's job is to process the data that comes from the mapper. After processing, it produces a new set of output which will be stored in HDFS. So this is the diagrammatic representation of MapReduce. So I'll tell you. So the input data is taken from HDFS. It is passed into map task. So line by line all the input data will be passed into the mapper task. The mapper task assigns its key value pass and shuffles the data in a sorted manner and then it gives the output. This output is passed into the reducer task. So the reducer gets the information from the mapper task and then gives in a very detailed and a very short manner. So the phases, we have input phase. Here we have a record reader that translates each record in an input file and sends the passed data to the mapper in the form of key value pass. Map, it is a user defined function. It processes each one of them to generate 0 or more key value pass. Intermediate keys, these are the output generated by the mapper generally. The combiner takes the intermediate keys from the mapper as input and applies the user defined code and finally aggregates the values to form one mapper solution. Shuffle and sort, it downloads the grouped key value pass onto the local machine where the reducer is running. The individual key value pass are sorted into a larger data set. This is how the MapReduce works. So in the reducer task, the group key value pair data as input and runs the reducer function mainly in the form of Java language. Then the data can be aggregated, filtered and combined in a number of ways, and it requires a wide range of processing. Once the execution is over, it gives 0 or more key value pairs in the final step. The output phase. In the output phase, we have an output formatter that translates the final key value pairs from the reducer function and writes them onto a file using a record writer. So working, the Hadoop sends the map and reduce tags to the appropriate service in the cluster. The framework manages all the details of data passing such as issuing tasks, verifying task completion, copying data. Then it will be passed on to the nodes with data on local disk. After completion, the cluster collects and reduces the data to an appropriate result and then sends into the Hadoop server. So both the input and the output are stored in a file system. The framework takes care of scheduling tasks, monitoring them and re-executes the failed task. This is how the working of Mapreduce is done. So framework. The Mapreduce framework consists of single master job tracker and one slave task tracker per cluster node. Job tracker is responsible for resource management. Task tracker executes the task as directed by the master and provides task status information to the master periodically. So this is how the high level architecture of Hadoop Mapreduce. Thank you.